Recording. Hi, Carter Sherline from Michigan Runner News, and it is Monday, the 10th of February, 2025. Yesterday was the kickoff of the 2025 Michigan Runner Race Series, so that was Sunday the 9th, which was the Super Bowl 5K in Lansing, produced by Playmakers and the Michigan Running Foundation. It was kind of cold and windy, and there was no real cover after the race. I guess they had the registration in a church across the street from the Capitol. They wanted to have the Capitol as the background for the race. It's had several locations in its history. Uh, most recently, was at the middle school in Okemos, and they had the school to get warm in after and have the post race activities. We didn't yesterday, so I couldn't grab anybody to interview. Almost grabbed the person we have with us. She did have to take off. She saw I was still shooting some stills, but I guess there was a miscommunication. I kind of waved her over, and I didn't see me wave. But
And then I got too cold.
yes, got too cold.
So,
But our first place female grandmasters, second place compared to the masters, and third to the overall female, 24th compared to everybody. Lisa have been Veneziano. Close, kind of.
pretty close.
Getting close.
Veneziano.
I've been practicing.
Yeah.
Like you said, we talked about before recording that it was at least 25 years. I think it was longer that we've known each other.
At
So
least, yeah.
going back
Yeah, I
to
think it was
Columbus.
before I went to Ohio that we met. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Before that, yep. So,
Hmm.
uh, as we said, it was cloudy and cold, at least no precipitation during the race. Uh,
Right.
tell us about how it developed for you. Actually, first let's start with your five-time Michigan Runner of the Year previously, and those were consecutive years. So it's been a few years since that.
Yes.
Last year, you didn't get a chance to get into too many of the Michigan Runner Race Series. You started off the year making the first race, though. So uh,
Right.
tell us now how the race developed. Did you start out with other women, especially women in your age group, or were you running mostly with the guys?
Well, I started off in the first place female really shot out ahead of me, and I could tell she was keeping up a really good pace. So she was far enough that I couldn't even really track her. The second place female passed me within the first mile, so it was definitely within the first loop, somewhere around the 1 mile mark, and she was also keeping a good pace. I couldn't catch her. She was actually probably just over a minute in front of me. So that's pretty significant in a 5K. So yeah, I was just honestly happy to be out there. I've become a fair weather runner in my old age, I would say. I've been on the treadmill most of the winter because we've had a pretty rough, if it's really cold or the roads are bad, I'm on my treadmill. And I'm one of those strange ones though, because I kind of enjoy treadmill running
Okay,
because you can, push yourself on a certain pace and you just have to keep up or get thrown off the back.
okay,
But I was happy that I saw the race on the calendar. It was a Michigan Runner Series, which is something that I haven't been able to do a lot of the races because they just haven't worked out for my schedule. So I thought that it was one of those. I've been wanting to do a Super Bowl race again because my husband and I did one time like 20 years ago and we never got a chance to do another one. And I like running in Lansing, so I was really happy that it was downtown Lansing. It was a really nice course. I like loop courses, and it went around the Capitol building. Other than the snowy conditions, I liked the course. They
okay,
did a really nice job, I would say, keeping it plowed. They cleared it and they put salt down. But there were a couple sections that were a little slick, slushy and slick that you had to really watch your footing. And I I'm ultra cautious. I don't want to take any chances of falling and getting injured or anything like that. But it was cold. I had hand warmers and that really saved me, but that's just not my thing. It was cold and windy. I think I checked the weather before I went out and it was 24 degrees and it felt like 10.
Yes, yes.
So there was one section in particular that you were just running straight into the wind. So hey, I'm proud that I did it.
Okay, well, I said I got there a little late for the start. I was recovering from being at the West Michigan Golf Show the day before, uh,
Oh,
or two
right.
days before. I'm sorry, I was still 2 days before. I was still recovering. Also had went to the Michigan Invitational track meet on Saturday, so I was pretty beaten up. But I'm like, I
Oh,
guess
at U of
I
M?
gotta get over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta
yeah.
bounce back to Lansing. I'll make it somehow. And I pulled in, saw people were finishing the first loop, and I said, "Well, I'm just going to shoot them
Okay.
as they finish." And did a little social media
Yeah.
pictures with my camera of the group. But you were well past the first loop at that point. Uh, so again, I guess we were
Gotcha.
so talking about that it was a loop. It was two loops, two even
Mm-hmm.
identical loops, and
Right.
the race previously had been, like I said, in Okemos at the middle school, and then before that, it was around the golf course
Mm-hmm.
behind Playmaker's current location. For old timers, will remember that Playmakers used to be in the Meridian Mall. They took advantage of Borders going out of business and took over the old Borders. So they inherited an architecture that was a bookstore to make it into a
Oh,
running
now I
shop.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's a
they
massive building in the,
yeah,
yeah, now that you mention it.
including these giant fish tanks along the walls that were part of the decoration of Borders. Uh, they had a coffee shop for a while. I think the Playmakers people decided they really weren't in the coffee business and expanded the shoes out into that section that had been a coffee
Smart
house.
move.
Yeah, but in any case, so this race has moved around, and I haven't been in a few years, so I'm not sure if this was the first year that they've moved it
Mm-hmm.
to this new location to get the Capitol in the background.
Mm, I
So
like it. I think they should keep it there
yeah, maybe a tent for keep warm or something, or uh,
for the after the finish. Yeah,
yeah,
they're
for
really,
after the race.
yeah,
Yeah, before the race, I was saying the registration was in a
right.
church to the north
Yep.
side.
Yeah, nice warm church.
Yes.
The church was nice
Yeah.
and warm, but you have to give it to the volunteers because they were out there,
Hmm.
giving out times and giving out the medals, and they didn't let the cold weather phase them, even though they were out there in it, taking care of us all. So,
Yeah, I saw one of the course marshals did slide towards the finish and wipe out. So there was some ice in there. I think he was goofing
yes,
around and misjudged
yeah.
what he was doing. Lost a shoe, I think. And I got
Easy to
pictures of
do
it. But
yesterday. It
yeah,
was easy to do.
yeah. All right. So, and I guess again, since I've already mentioned some of my own uh, participation as a photographer, and well, I'm co-editor with Gary Morgan of Michigan Running News at this point. But again, for those that don't know, um, our founder, Art McCafferty, and his wife, Jeannie McCafferty, who's our co-publisher, or associate publisher, rather, um, they started jettisoning things one at a time. And Nick Stenka, who had won, I think, three times, non-consecutive ones, and of the Michigan Runner of the Year, um, as it's been awarded to the top point recipient in the Michigan Runner Race Series. He didn't want to see it go away. 2017, Art and Jenny gave it to Gary and Morgan and I as a kind of lifetime achievement kind of thing, and a swan song for the series and the award. And Nick said, "No, I'm going to keep it going." So Nick took it over, picks most of the races. I get input into it as
Nice.
much as I can, but I can't make them all this year. So I won't be there in March in Bay City because I've already committed to Corktown, working for the parade company. Um, they expect their post-race party will be in the Michigan Central building for that one. So I definitely wanted to be
Hmm.
involved with that. And then again with the parade company, and I try to be involved with them. The November event is going to be the uh, Golly Gobbler, I think it's called. It's the Mighty Gobbler in
Hmm.
uh,
Okay.
in Troy, um, and I can't make that either. So I'm going to miss at least two of them. So you may make more of them than me this year. I don't know. I did pretty
We'll
last year. I
see.
got all 10, and this year 8 is going to be the maximum. Again, I don't think I have any other conflicts that I can't get out of. So
Yeah, I looked over the race. It's a really nice race schedule. I like a lot of the races that have been included this
mhm,
year. And
mhm,
a lot of them are on my calendar
yeah,
already. And there are a few that I haven't done that I would like to actually try. So,
okay,
but there are also a few that I know I won't be able to make either. So we'll see
okay.
how many I can get to.
Well, they're mostly more major races. We put a few
Yes.
more minor ones in last year. We still have one more minor one. And actually, looking out my window, if there weren't some trees and a couple buildings, I could see that first from here. So that one does work out for me as long as the schedule does, because it's about a quarter mile or less
Which
than a
one is
quarter
that?
mile. The Dickin Run. It's a
Oh,
Dickin
okay.
School in October.
Yeah, it's in Ann Arbor, right?
Yeah. In fact, I can't
Yeah,
get
right.
there from here, but if I could probably hit a golf ball over there or something. Um, so I have
Yeah,
to
that would
kind of
be a
go
new
around the
one for
block.
me. Hopefully I can make that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a nice race. Like I said, it's apparently they own Nick's homes over there, so uh,
Oh,
he's
okay.
involved with with in the school system there. So okay, well anyway, so again, we did spend a little longer since we are doing this by Zoom and not standing out post race, either freezing or baking or whatever, depending on what time of the
Right.
year. And but tired, but with my interviewee being tired at that point, and just wanting to go lie down or something. So took
Mhm.
advantage of that and say and start the year with a little more detail of what the Michigan Runner Race Series is, or at least talking around it. Again, there's 10 races, one a month, February to November, 6 categories, male, female, 39 and under, 40 to 59, 60 and over. And you compete within your division. The top 10 places get points, starting at 16 points down. And so Lisa starts out with 16 points and for
Awesome.
the year. And then we compare those 6 categories. Whoever gets the most points is the Michigan Runner of the Year, which I get to make a fake magazine cover of the style when we were a print publication. So it's fun. I get to at least use those those skills, and even though we're in the ether now, in cyberspace, and
Right. A different
hopefully we'll
world.
keep this going for years to come. It started in 1979 with Ron Gunn for the 1978 running year, and they actually have a video. It's a compilation of all the covers, and actually I have to post the link to the updated version of that. I haven't done that, so look
Mhm.
out for that as well. Adding to Jonathan Preby, well, always have to think and make sure I don't call him Jonathan or Joe Preby rather, because there was a Joe Preby also in the running community, and I kept flipping their names when I was doing the interview. I haven't even seen Joe around a long time. He was an ultra runner,
Okay.
and uh, started an interview,
Maybe
and
they're related.
yeah, no, we checked. We checked. We couldn't find any relation. So, any case, again, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you. Thanks for
Congratulations.
having me.
And since, like I said, I won't be in Bay City in March, but then the April will be at Martian Marathon. I think it's the Martian Invasion of Races. I think it's 10K. I have to check that for that one.
Yeah, that I think I'm gonna try to see you or be in Bay City. I know you won't be there, but Martian conflicts. I just checked it. It conflicts with the Big House 5K.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh,
And I was one of the early registrants on that because it fills up so
uh,
fast. So
well, I'm
I'm pretty
supposed to
sure I'm
shoot.
right about that. If not, I'll be at the Martian, but I'm doing Boston that year, so I have to
Wait,
really
no, wait a
or
second.
that month. So I have to really
Let me
um
see. Let me see, because I
conserve
think.
on my races in April. So
Okay, well, again, I don't want to keep you too long or make this too
yeah,
long, but give me a second, and I'm going to
it's
check because, um,
Saturday versus Sunday. So
yes,
they're a day apart.
that's what I thought, but you had me going. So
What's a
because
conflict for me?
yeah, yeah,
I don't think I'll be
okay,
doing
okay.
one day, one the other.
Well, the big house you can do for fun. Do Martian for serious. Okay, that was what my
Yeah,
memory
that's a
was, but
thought.
I don't trust my memory
That's a
lately.
thought.
So, and that's just, I mean, unless you're like the overall male first one through the tunnel, you're in a crowd anyway. Usually the first woman is kind of squeezed in because they got to come down through that tunnel at the big house, or says the team, the
Yeah,
team, the team. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah. We'll
maybe we'll see
see.
you both. So maybe you'll see me at both of them because I know I'm going to be one of the
You'll be at both.
photographers for
Okay,
big
very
houses.
cool.
Okay. Well,
All right.
and
Thanks
otherwise,
so
we'll
much,
see you.
Carter.
Okay, we'll see you at down the road. Not just those, but hopefully the rest of the calendar.
Will
Okay,
do. Take care.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.